over minimum wage last resort. President Tinubu orders for template for new minimum wage. Former president judge not election petitions. World marks Environment Day. And on the foreign scene, Indian Prime Minister set for third term. I'm Ifechuku Moyle with the news. A former chairperson of the Nigerian Labour Congress NLC in Rivers State, Beatrice Itubo, says the nationwide strike by labour unions over minimum wage was a last resort to get the federal government to give in to their demand. Mrs. Itubo said this today on Nigerian 4FM's Morning Crossfire.
For labor, each time there are issues, labor issues. So now that they have seen that the strike is effective, more people are joining, they decided to call, and each time the labor law says that anytime the employer wants to discuss the dialogue, you must suspend until the dialogue breaks down or succeeds. That they have called that they want the dialogue to be very, very unfair and illegal for labor to continue. That's exactly what it is. Now people don't understand that there are rules guiding labor. They don't play outside the rules.
Apologies for that wrong soundbite. Now, Mrs. Itubo also spoke on the possible return of the strike if the government fails to meet the demand. Recall that yesterday, the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC and the Trade Union Congress TUC suspended their industrial action and urged workers to resume their duties following a one-week negotiations with the government. Now, the president of the Trade Union Congress TUC, Festus Osifo, says Labour will reject any lean addition to the 60,000 naira offer by the Tripartite Committee on the new minimum wage. Recall that the organised Labour started an indefinite strike over the delay in agreeing to a minimum wage for workers and the government's refusal to reduce electricity tariff hike. The strike crippled business activities across the country. In the same vein, lawmakers in the House of Representatives elected on the platform of opposition political parties have called on the federal government to implement a new minimum wage of more than 100,000 naira. In an interview, the minority leader of the House of Representatives, Kingsley Chinda, regretted the condition of the average Nigerian workers, stressing that failure to pay a living wage is a constitutional breach. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has directed the Minister of Finance, Wale Edu, to present a template for a new minimum wage. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, said this in Abuja on Tuesday after a federal government delegation on the new minimum wage met with the President.
The President has just summoned a meeting of all those who negotiate on behalf of the federal government, led by the Secretary of the Government of the Federation. We're all there to look at those issues, and then the President has directed the Minister of Finance to do the numbers and get back to him between today and tomorrow, so that we can have some figures ready for negotiation. He said the President is the time to go with what the committee has said. He's also looking at the welfare of Nigerians. Like I've said earlier, government is not it's not an opponent of labor discussions. It's not an opponent of wage increase.
Still to come, World marks Environment Day. Stay with us.
Are you with us? Are you with us?
of a case against celebrity bartender Pascal Okechukwu, otherwise called Cubana Chief Priest, for alleged abuse of the Naira. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) arraigned Okechukwu on April 17 on a 3-count charge of allegedly spraying and tampering with the Naira notes during a social event at Eko Hotel in Lagos State. He had pleaded not guilty to the charges and was granted a 10 million Naira bail. And our former President Goodluck Jonathan has appealed to the judiciary to do the right thing by not entertaining what he called fictitious elections litigations filed by politicians. The former president spoke in Asaba, Delta State, where he inaugurated the Delta State High Court complex and also flagged off the presentation of 20 Toyota Prado sports utility vehicles to judges in the state. Moving on, the Rivers State government says necessary steps will be taken to prevent the recurrence of Tuesday's gas explosion in Port Harcourt, which left 3 people dead. The Commissioner for Information and Communications, Joe Johnson, said this in an interview with correspondent Onyeka Chinwusu.
It's quite sad that it happened. It is an accident. But since after the LMA incident, we have tried to deepen our arrangements to be able to have something to mitigate all these happenings. We were not happy about it, and I can assure you that the government will do all that is within its powers to ensure that we do not have a repeat of it. It's quite sad, but we thank God that the casualty, though there is, that it was not as grievous as the previous.
The explosion happened when a gas truck carrying about 8 cylinders fell on a vehicle while navigating the roundabout on the Obudukwene flyover in Port Harcourt. Now, the federal government has condemned the vandalization of the superstructure of the second Niger Bridge. Minister of Works Dave Umahi, in a statement by his special advisor on media, Orji Uchenna, on Tuesday in Abuja, said the act was cruel and cowardly. The minister expressed deep shock that reports of the vandalization were still being recorded in spite of the presence of the private security outfit deployed by the ministry to man the area. Mr. Umahi appreciated the public for their zeal and concerns by raising the desired alarm that trended widely on media platforms on the act. He assured the public that a more formidable security architecture is being activated to forestall further havoc on the facilities. In other news, as the world marks Environment Day, Chairman of the Nigerian Environment Society, Amos Daminabo, has called for collaboration, urging the people of Rivers State to take care of their environment. Speaking on the theme Land Restoration, Desertification and Drought Resilience on 92.3 Nigeria Info FM's Sunnyside, Mr. Daminabo said degraded land in the state need to be restored through a land restoration process.
All that affect us mostly here in River State is land restoration. You will agree with me that we have degraded lands all over within River State. Bomu Community Bukana to restore mangroves. We went there for mangrove planting in conjunction with IPREP. Now, what were we trying to do? With the introduction of the artisan refineries and their and the oil spill here and there, it affected.
World Environment Day is marked every 5th of June. World Environment Day is marked every 5th of June. And now a pharmacist, Ronari Charles, has stressed the need for doctors to provide clear usage instructions before pharmacists who are licensed to dispense drugs can do so. Dr. Charles, who is the immediate past chairman of the Pharmaceutical Society of Nigeria in Bayelsa State, said this following concerns from instances where doctors provide insufficient prescriptions, leading to misuse and serious side effects due to prolonged usage. He said pharmacists are empowered to withhold drug dispensation if the prescription lacks clarity.
the prescriber must indicate in the prescription what is the purpose, what it is used for, before the pharmacist who is licensed to dispense it can even dispense it. So the pharmacist reserves the right not to even dispense that drug if the reason for prescribing that medication was not stated in the prescription. That's even possible. But let's assume that the reason was indicated or the pharmacist knew the reason and then it was dispensed properly. It's expected that the pharmacist at the point of dispensing the medication should have given the patient every information that is required.
We go on a short commercial break.
Congratulatory message. The Oro Onuwo community in Rumolumine Kingdom, Obiakpo local government area of River State, and the Oro Onuwo Council of Chiefs wish to congratulate the Executive Governor of River State, Sir Siminialaye Fubara, on the occasion of his 1 year in office, as well as the appointment of a son of Rumolumine Kingdom, Honorable Barrister Collins Onuwo JP, as the Commissioner for Transport and member, River State Executive Council. God will strengthen you for the good works you are doing for River's people. Mecca. This is signed by Chief Williams Ndamati, Secretary, Chief Larry Oluegele, Nyerisi Obiri, Speaker, and Eze Chinedu Nyeche Onuwo JP, Chairman, Rumolumine Council of Chiefs.
Yeah, welcome back. And now in business, the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria FAN says power supply will be disconnected at the Lagos Airport today to allow for maintenance work. FAN's Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Obiageli Ora, in a statement said the maintenance is necessary to address urgent issues with a bus riser 11 kilovolt amperes high tension panel located on the ground floor. He said FAN will ensure that the shutdown of power supply will not disrupt flight operations and passenger facilitation. In entertainment, American rapper Kanye West says he will countersue his former assistant after she filed court document accusing him of sexual harassment and breach of contract. And now to sports. Former Chelsea and Tottenham Hotspur manager Antonio Conte has been appointed the new boss of Napoli on a 3-year deal.
And now we bring you news from around the world.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to retain power. However, his BJP party lost its outright parliamentary majority for the first time in 10 years. Mr. Modi thanked voters for their mandate and said he would do everything to eradicate corruption and poverty. The opposition coalition India performed far better than expected, securing 232 seats. The India Alliance has not accepted defeat and says it will meet today to decide the next steps.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. It was a last resort. President Tinubu has ordered for template for new minimum wage. Former President Jonathan has told judges not to accept fake election petitions. World marks Environment Day, and on the foreign scene, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi has won a third term in office. The news was edited by Martha Okirinkem. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Ife Chukwumonyele. Many thanks for listening.